So this is not like the kind of coverage of Everquest that I want to do. It's kind of annoying, but there's a lawsuit that we need to talk about. Daybreak has filed a lawsuit against emulators for essentially copyright infringement. That's the takeaway. The too long didn't read. The lawsuit was filed on June 11th, 2025. Popular servers like Quorum and The Hero's Journey are potentially in trouble, but I don't want to dive super deep into this because, well, quite honestly, I don't know all that much. I considered not even making a video on it until Aporia over on The Hero's Journey made a quick comment, which is, quote, "Good afternoon, heroes. Many folks have become aware that Daybreak has filed suit against two of our founders. Please know that while we cannot comment on any specifics, we want you all to know that we are doing everything in our power to see this through to a positive outcome for our community and all involved parties. We have excellent counsel, the benefit of the facts on our side, and an abiding faith that reasonable people will see us as fans and not as foes." This response and Daybreak's past history with emulators, including their official recognition of P99, have me hopeful of an amicable outcome. Obviously, emulators in general are at best in a gray area, at worst pretty clear copyright violations, which is why generally I try not to cover them that much because I don't want to bring too much potentially negative attention to them, with the exceptions of servers that have already been officially recognized and thus safe, like P99, or at least hopefully safe, because I honestly don't know. Or, ones that are from like defunct games like Warhammer Online or Star Wars Galaxies. Or I guess not quite so defunct games like Ultima Online with Outlands. My biggest question here is about timing. Like, why now? Why now after Daybreak had back in 2015 entered into a written agreement with P99, probably the largest emulator server of all time for Everquest, an agreement that existed when EG7 completed the acquisition of Daybreak in December of 2020. Does that mean that EG7 is potentially more hostile towards emulators? I don't know. I don't have any insider knowledge on this, but I'm just kind of wondering, why? Why is this such a thing right now? Could this be that EG7 wants to put more control over their IP, especially with the potential of trying to make, I don't know, an Everquest 3, an Everquest remake, the thing that they have talked about having out by 2028? Although nothing's even started development-wise as far as we know, so that's probably not happening that soon. The agreement Daybreak made with P99 back in 2015 was for a fan-based not-for-profit classic emulation project, and it included guidelines for P99 to follow, basically rules. I do have to wonder if the existence of essentially paid items in an emulator like THJ, though, through Echoes, if that has any kind of influence on this, if that's something that was considered, or the fact that in their game, in their emulator, they kind of have basically a cheat program that is used as part of their base game. But again, it's all just speculation. I have no idea what this is, and to be completely fair, no one else does either. So just take anything I say or anyone else says with just a huge grain of salt. This is all legal proceedings, and people can't really talk about legal proceedings until they're kind of done. And I'm not even remotely qualified to talk about legal shit. At all. So I've actually linked the document, the court document down below if you are, a legal, a scholar, lawyer, judge or something, and for some reason you're watching my ass on YouTube. Well, I've linked it down below if you want to check it out. What I am qualified for is to talk about my opinion on it, and basically, not really shocking, it sucks. This really sucks. It's one of those things where I get it. I understand the desire to protect your IP. I have a YouTube channel that is copywritten. I have books that are copywritten, and there's benefits to letting people use your IP, and there's downsides to it. But it still just sucks in general because when I think of emulator servers, for mmorpg specifically, usually they're to try and keep the heart of that game alive. I think with Everquest it's a little bit different because you have the viable product still going on. for over 2 decades now. So I get kind of why that's happening, but at the same time, there are people that have put so much time into this, not just the people making and maintaining the server, but the people that have played the server and just love the IP and love how this game works and really enjoy this fresh take on the game. So it just sucks to see, and that's why I'm really hopeful that this legal action is more of a, hey, you need to listen to us type of thing, and not a we're shutting you down type of thing. And it can be an amicable thing. It can be a thing where they just figure out, here's some guidelines, this is what you have to do, this is what you can't do, and maybe things change a little bit or they stay the same, and you kind of have something work out, something that makes it beneficial both to Daybreak and the Everquest IP and EG7, as well as beneficial to the people making and maintaining these emulator servers and the people that play these servers. I just honestly hope for an amicable conclusion. That's the long and the short of it. I just hoping for the best, preparing for the worst, but you know, that's it's just part of how this shit goes, I guess, and it really sucks. I'll be keeping an eye out for any big updates. If there are big updates, I'll share them with you whenever I see them. But I don't really cover stuff like this all this much. I tend to try and be more on the positive side of shit. But I figured since it's Everquest, this is the Hero's Journey server and Quarm and all this, it's definitely something that I needed to at least talk about a little bit. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. My name is Redbeard Flynn, and I hope we get a decent, good, amicable decision around this so that everybody who wants to venture into Norath, however they want to venture into Norath, can do so. And if you want a little palate cleanser from all of this legal drama, well, I actually covered some of the best mmorpgs that I think could use a remake because they don't have a really like a contemporary. And yes, of course, Everquest is on there, but there might be some other that you didn't expect, and you can find that in this video right here. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Redbeard Flynn, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Be kind to each other.